Guilty or not guilty, the jury now has the highest profile U.S. police murder trial in decades. 12 jurors began deliberating charges Monday against the white, now former police officer accused of murdering George Floyd, a black man, in the U.S. state of Minnesota last year. The judge in the city of Minneapolis gave final instructions after prosecutors and the defense attorney for Derek Chauvin made their closing arguments. The judge telling the jurors they must be absolutely fair, consider and weigh the evidence, and apply the law. Minneapolis and other major U.S. cities are on edge, fearing unrest. Floyd's arrest last May sparked global outrage and sometimes violent protests on police brutality and racial inequality. The U.S. Defense Department says Moscow's military buildup on the border with Ukraine is even bigger than in 2014 when Russia invaded Crimea. A U.S. military spokesman describes the deployment as very seriously concerning. A European Union official says there are between 100,000 to 150,000 Russian soldiers on the Ukrainian border. Washington questions Moscow claims that the troops are training. Ukraine fears the Kremlin is readying for another attack. The U.S.'s space agency has achieved the first flight by an aircraft on another planet. NASA's experimental helicopter rose into thin air above the dusty red surface of Mars on Monday. The success is being hailed as a Wright brothers-like moment 118 years after the first flight on Earth. Cuba's President Miguel Diaz-Canel became the first secretary of the Cuban Communist Party on Monday. It's a generational change that for the first time in decades leaves out a leader named Castro from the island's top leadership. He replaces former President Raul Castro, who on Friday announced he would not accept a new election as leader of the party. Diaz-Canel told delegates in a speech that no major decisions will ever be made without first consulting with Raul Castro, so while in retirement, Castro will still have a say in the direction of the country. But it is for the first time in 62 years, there is no one named Castro in either the powerful seats of the presidency of Cuba or first secretary of the party. The Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines made a plea to the United Nations and the international community Monday for help to recover from a volcano eruption that has displaced 20,000 people. The Prime Minister says the island nation is in its midnight hour of need, confronting a monumental challenge of humanitarian relief. The volcano on the Caribbean island of St. Vincent unleashed its first big eruption on April 9th. Thousands of people have been living in government shelters, some of which have been struggling to provide basic supplies. Water systems are shut down in many parts of the island. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu lost an important vote on Monday over who gets to join a powerful committee in parliament. It's a setback as he tries to form a new government following an inconclusive election. Netanyahu has about 2 more weeks to try to bring together a ruling coalition. The vote indicates the veteran leader still has some way to go to secure a majority. And UNICEF says the number of migrant children trying to reach the United States from Mexico has increased 9-fold since the beginning of the year. The rise from 400 to 3,500 youngsters registered the southern side of the U.S. border has overwhelmed those facilities, the UN's Children's Agency said Monday. Mexican authorities are recording an average of 275 new migrant children a day waiting to cross into the United States or having been sent back from the northern side of the border, according to UNICEF. Mostly coming from Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, and Mexico, minors make up 30% of total migrants, the highest such figure ever registered for children.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.